My 58 Willys pickup, 74 Chevy 3/4 ton frame, 410 gears, 205 4-speed. It had 350 in it when I first put it together. Didn't have enough power. I put a 454 in it. This is what it looked like when I first stuck it in there. Ran beautiful, ran strong. I had no complaints. Cam, everything. It just really ran really good. Had no complaints whatsoever. Went down to the corner. Going to a friend's house the other day, dumped clutch, stop sign, got her up to about $5,000, something went boom. Did not know what it was. Came home and tore it apart, and this is what I found. I tore it apart, and it looks like stuck a little bit too big of a lift cam in it. Looks like the piston and the valve had lunch. Come to find out, looking at it and doing all the research and looking at it, diagnosis type thing, looks like all the reliefs, the intake valve reliefs have been touching. So that means the valves have been touching the pistons. So what we've got going on here is a documentation of what I'm going to do here. All the valves, all the intake valves have been touching. They just spun around, didn't bend or anything, no vacuum leak, didn't miss. There's obviously the one that's gone. Chewed it all up. I think this head's junk. Won't know until I take it to a machine shop. My hot motor back, so I'm going to steal the heads off that motor, go down to the machine shop and get a used piston to put back into this motor, and we are going to, got it pretty much set up here to protect it and show what we're going to do here. And we're going to take this 4-inch grinder we've got set up here that I have cut down to the same, pretty much the same circumference into the intake valve piston relief part of it, and I am going to relief the piston to make sure that I'm not doing anything wrong or damaging or questionable. I took a used 454 piston, took the chop saw right there, cut into it to make sure that it had enough relief into the piston. I checked it. It has about 1/8 of an inch into the relief part of it where the ring is, or the bottom part of the cup of the piston, to make sure it had enough meat. It looks like it does, 1/8 of an inch to the edge of it. We're going down and more towards the center of the piston, so it does have enough meat. What I've done is get it right here on the bench, just right, is I have taken a popsicle stick. Sounds bad, but this is my redneck way of doing it, besides taking it to a machine shop, tearing it all apart and getting expensive, is I've taken the popsicle stick, cut it and fit it exactly into the relief of the piston and made it tight. I've gone back and forth to each motor, this piston and the motor, and checked it, and I've ground out approximately 50 thousandths out of this piston. How do I know? I have made this one fit perfectly, so there's no clearance on the north end or south end of this popsicle stick. Stuck it into this one. On the north end of it, it's hard to see, on the north end of it there is about 50 thousandths that is exposed, so I know that I have taken out about 50 thousandths out of the other piston, and I'm going to do this to all 7 pistons on this one. Get another used piston from the machine shop and relieve it, put it all back together, pressure wash it, clean it all up, take the heads off that motor, put it on this one, put the thing back together, all the cosmetics, everything, put it back in here, break it in, fire it up, warm it up. And okay, I guess we're ready to do this. Let's go ahead and get started here. The circumference of this got to be in the same angle and everything. We've got the feeler gauge ready, we've got our popsicle stick ready, protection of everything, and here we go. This, go like this, take this, put that right down in there. It's real close, maybe just a hair more. Okay. Nice and shiny there, ain't it? There. Popsicle stick. can't get it underneath it. I think that'll be close enough. Right down the edge. I think we've got it. That's all it needed. A little piston to valve relief there. Okay, we're to the point that we've already done all the mechanical work. Stripping everything off the other motor and putting it on the hot motor. This is the hot motor with all the accessories and the heads off the other motor. This is the other motor. One have the rod knock or the wrist pin, don't know. As you can see, I've robbed a piston out of that hole and a piston out of those two holes to replace a couple that were damaged in this one that I wasn't sure of. So now I'm sure, so I'm getting ready to stuff it back in my willies and put it back together and let you guys hear it. Alright. Okay, this is what I get to enjoy. 4-speed, couple gauges, tack, turn key, push button. Idle's about 7. I'll get it up to about 8 by the time it's all done. Temperature's about 160 where it's supposed to be. Oil's about 40 pounds. Rev her up, the alternator kicks in. Skull action. Alright. Sounds good. I know what I was missing. Okay, and there it is. It's running, and I'm satisfied. The Redneck piston valve relief.